My lazy ass still in bed, but something was just on my mind, and I wanted to share and place some blame on you niggas. Yep, Dr. Banu. Yep. It is definitely the so-called conscious community. Hey, Roshada. The so-called woke community. Kyrie Irving's problem directly lies on y'all. And it's y'all's fault, the conscious community, that Kyrie Irving is losing money and maybe out the NBA next year. It's that goddamn serious. What's up, Shakir? So I know it's like 11. Um, it's like 11 something here, Cali time. So I know it's about 1 o'clock elsewhere. And my lazy ass is just now getting out of bed and wanted to share, right? What up, Soda? So check this out. Kyrie Irving's problem comes from the miseducation that the conscious community spews on a daily basis. Bottom line, Kyrie Irving's a rather young man who's been influenced by shit he's seen online, right? And the kind of shit Kyrie Irving sees online is he follows people like, excuse me, Brother Sanchez, the Flat Earth Pusher, and shit that be on Sonetter's channel. This is real, right? He's a flat earther. He's a wannabe Hebrew Israelite, right? Um, he's wildly misinformed. He's anti-science. Yep, somebody said he could easily be a Brother Polite victim. Yep, he's a Brother Polite victim. He's a victim of all y'all's nonsense, okay? It's you niggas who led him astray to where he thinks the way he thinks right now. And let's just be clear. The cult leaders, like Dr. Ben and these Hebrew Israelites camps. Now, I put it on these Hebrew Israelite camps and Dr. Ben, because the Hebrew Israelite camps are the biggest. They carry the most weight in the conscious community. A lot of people don't know this. This is why Sonetter mainly dialogues with Hebrew Israelites. They bring him the most views. They are the biggest sub-block group, right? Because most of them come from dissatisfied Christians who fell out the black church. So they choose something similar to what they were into, and that's Hebrew Israelites, right? Whether you're a Christian in the black church or a Hebrew Israelite, you embrace the same holy book. Yep. You embrace the same holy book, the same teachings. Hebrew Israelites is just a black face on Christianity that's just a bit more extreme. Well, not a bit more, way more extreme. It's just Christianity with a black face and extremism of Christianity. That's what Hebrew Israelites is. Now, the other side is the Egyptomaniacs, students of Dr. Ben. People like Jabari, Brother Reggie, Sinetter, and all these people under this line who pushed ancient Egypt being black. Now, both of them are birds of a feather that flock together. And that's why Sinetter, with an Egyptian name, mostly has Hebrew Israelites. Understanding that Canaan and Egypt, it's fucking neighbors. They're next to each other. Israel, Canaan, whatever you want to fucking call it. The Near East, Levant, Egypt, is all in the same fucking region. They're the same people. Canaan, at one time, was part of the Egyptian Empire, right? So Kyrie Irving's looking at y'all. Kyrie Irving more than likely watched the debate called Kemet on Trial, right? Kemet on Trial was between two confused groups of black Americans, two confused niggas arguing with each other. You got one confused nigga side called the Hebrew Israelites and another confused nigga side called the Egyptomaniacs. Neither of them are Hebrew, neither of them are Egyptian. They're just both two fucking groups, confused, right? Arguing with each other, and they both wrong as fuck. The Hebrews is wrong, the Egyptomaniacs is wrong. Just two wrong niggas arguing with each other. That's what the fuck it is. And they both arguing about other people's cultures and history. It's like Japanese and Chinese people arguing with the world that they are the original fucking Samoans. Are you kidding me, right? How is Japanese and Chinese people arguing that they're the original Australian people? The Chinese and the Japanese would both be wrong. It's the same goddamn thing. This is how wild it is. When you really think about it and think deeply about it, you got some niggas in black America. Fuck, I don't know how long the distance is, but I always say 8,000 miles. You got some niggas 8,000 miles away from the Near East and Levant making crazy ass fucking claims that they Egyptians and or Hebrews. It's fucking wild when you really think about it. How is two niggas from Compton, Baltimore, and Atlanta arguing about the goddamn Levant? What's going on here? This is why Kyrie Irving's fucking confused. You niggas brainwashed the nigga. Take responsibility, goddammit. Hold on, let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. It's crazy, Shakir. It's crazy. Dr. Ben, was your chance of Williams and Livingston are problematic to the collective. More than living. Like birds of a feather. Birds of a feather hunting season. Hebrew Israelites versus Coast. Many amongst the U.S. have identity issues and are rightly misguided. May they find the path of truth. That's true, BB. BB says many amongst us have identity issues and are rightly misguided. May they find the path of truth. Right? Tyrese Beard said, wasn't he a Native American last year? God damn it, I think he was all that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The entire conscious community got Kyrie's head all fucked up. The nigga's anti-science, anti-vaxxer. He don't know his history. He think Hebrews are his ancestors. He clearly said, "These are my ancestors." You see, Kyrie Irving needs to be listening to people like me who's teaching the truth that hey, we Western Central Africans, we tropical Africans. We don't come from nowhere and not indigenous to nowhere in the Levant, North Africa, the Near East, Caucasus, or Europe. So if he had had my teachings, he would be good. But now he got y'all funky ass teachings. He screwed up. The nigga's an anti-vaxxer. He's anti-science. He got history all fucked up. The nigga think he Hebrew. The nigga think he Native American, right? The nigga think, I mean, he's probably the one that watch all them goddamn conspiracy videos and Illuminati and all this old fuck shit they be spreading on fucking YouTube. Shit's fucking crazy. That's what kind of nigga he is. And it's y'all's fault. It's Brother Reggie's fault. Because Brother Reggie and these Hebrew Israelites and these Egyptomaniacs is placing people's intentionally lying and placing Black Americans' history in birthright in a land they had nothing to do with or it was never from. Yes, you niggas' fault. You niggas placed this nigga right up there in the Near East, and the Near East and Egypt was connected. They fucking neighbors. It's the same fucking region. All you niggas is guilty for ruining Kyrie's career and need to repent. So all you students of Dr. Ben, repent. You're all fucking wrong. You all falsely influenced Black Americans wrongly. You put us in a precarious position. You got us all fucked up out here. So the Hebrew Israelites and the Egyptomaniacs need to shut their goddamn mouth, take some motherfucking blame and responsibility for this fuck shit, and stop fronting like they just been some model citizens and helping out the Black community. No, we fucked up the Black community, and this is the reality. Right? Donisha Scott says, so where are we from? I need it plain and simple. I'm so confused. See, let me tell you something, Donisha Scott. This is a real. White folk ain't never lied about your history. Not once. So this is the problem. Niggas thinking white folk lied about your history. Nope. White folk clearly told us where they got us from. They said we went over to West and Central Africa and we bought you from your African chiefs. They told us that. They didn't lie. So we from West and Central Africa, and we was picked up on motherfucking boats, you know what I mean, and brought to America in the transatlantic slave trade. This is old news, right? For us to think anything other than that, we've been listening to fuckboys. Period. I don't see how we confused about that. Denisha Scott, don't ever be confused again, sister. You know what I mean? White folk told you the 100% truth. They got you from West Central Africa. They never lied about your history, ever. Niggas be acting like white folk lied about your history. No, they didn't lie about your history. How can they teach you West African history when they don't know West African history? We be on some bullshit. Look here. If you go to fucking Russia, Russia ain't teaching no motherfucking African history like that. People teach their own goddamn history. America teaches American history and a little world history briefly. If you want to specialize in shit in something, y'all take your ass to fucking college. And then you can specialize in something. But in just general high school and junior high school, you just gonna get basic information. White folk ain't know no deep Western Central African history to teach you. What they knew is African American history. African American history starts with slavery. That's just the facts about it. African American history and African history is two different things. Don't combine them. African American history is American history. It's just describing what type of American. You're a black American or a African American. Those are your descriptions, right? So that's what it's giving you is American history because you live in America. If you go to China, you're going to get Chinese history. If you go to China, China ain't teaching you no goddamn deep history about Western Central Africa. That ain't their goddamn thing. They Chinese people. You go to college and get that shit. White folk ain't never lied about your history. They said, we got your asses from Western Central Africa. We may not know your history over there to teach it, right? You get your history from your motherfucking family and your parents, right? That's where you're supposed to get your information from. Your parents is supposed to teach you your family's history, period. You ain't supposed to depend on the white man to teach you your history. Just that real talk. Egyptian pride said, hello from Egypt. Which is 21, what you say is 21 for Ladybug. Yeah, I lost a lot of time listening to this dystopian BS when I could have been getting my money up. Bragg, college community wastes so much time. We wasted a lot of goddamn time. What Carter C. Goodson, the homie, say, baby, I love our culture, but I adjust the bad, just all the culture should, and tell you the truth. The so-called conscious cats will never get our people anywhere, but full of misinformation and confusion. So we consider it the conscious community, but it's more so seems like the unconscious community when you really think about it. Like these niggas leave the black church and be angry and jump up out here and totally get miseducated. So I'm like, you guys are supposed to be the more educated side, but it seems like you get dumber, right? So, like, I know church folk. My daddy and my mama and my sister, my entire family is black Christian folk. They not even anti-science. They go get their vaccines. They still respect college professors and education, right? You know what I mean? They just seem to be on point. My daddy, my brother, everybody's doing better than these conscious niggas. So I'm like, is these niggas really woke? Or is they fucking sleep thinking they woke? And how is the black church doing better than these cats? Yeah, like conscious community today is top. I'm hearing people talk about the Beja and the Nubian are indigenous to the Levant and North Africans and shit. I mean, the black church don't even believe no crazy shit like that. Conscious community is a motherfucking cult, right? Listen here, the black church and Christian folk know that the Beja are East Africans. They didn't go berserk like you niggas and start calling Bejas North Africans, right? You guys have went berserk and lost your motherfucking mind. Sugar Hayes says, would you say my family is American with multiple ethnicities? I don't know why people don't study their own family lineage instead of letting strangers on social media tell you who you are. Correct. OG Ricardo Robinson, peace to you up out there from London, England. What would you say, John and Bowley? No, John Moabi. He agreed with me. I guess he said white people never lied about where African Americans come from. You're right. And to prove it, to prove it further, they even have the shit they looted and brought with them to keep in their museums. You goddamn right. They told you exactly where they got you. They got that West Central African shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The Dutch and Portuguese. They told you exactly 100% how it went down. So I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, what do black folk think? So I'm thinking to myself when I really think about it, I said, we used to cry about them not teaching African history. And I had to really think about it. How can a people teach you a history that they don't know about themselves? It's not like when America started. Not only were black folk not able to read and a little bit illiterate, 75% of white folk was illiterate also, if you guys didn't know, when early America started. So white folk in early education in America wasn't the wisest on history subjects, especially African history. I didn't say African American history, right? I said African history. So you just had explorations through the Congo and things of this nature in the 1800s, right? Prior to the 1800s, there was not a lot of exploration in African countries. There was a lot of coastal invasions and in trade and marketing more so going on. Because Europeans didn't always go inland until like the 1800s, really. I have to break this history down to you. So what I'm saying is a lot of early Americans, I'm just about basically saying a lot of early Americans didn't know African history per se. Unless you were the Brits who were actually colonizers living in Ghana and had stations and things set up in Ghana. America wasn't in Ghana. You understand what I'm saying? So, oops. So the British knew Ghana in history, in its culture, better than Americans. So America can't teach you Nigerian and Ghana history. Just understand that. Yeah, so mine was that the Portuguese were there first. Yeah, the Portuguese were there first. So some early Portuguese historians or early Portuguese explorers or Dutch explorers, and so listen, the British, the Dutch, and Portuguese, British, and Dutch were there in Ghana. Prior to them, possibly maybe a few Arab tribes came in northern Nigeria, maybe. So for us to expect white folk to know our history is kind of crazy when you think about it. Would you say, as Kamani, African American literacy levels from the end of slavery to the civil rights era is a real exponential growth? Pseudo history needs to stop, bro. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So Kyrie's problems stem from Egyptomaniacs and Hebrew Israelites. Period. They're the ones forcing us to be from that area when we're not. Kyrie is listening and hearing. He follows Sonetta TV, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure he follows Brother Sanchez religiously. You know what I mean? Brother Sanchez has a way about him where he's kind of charming. Now, I totally disagree with Brother Sanchez. But if I was to like say a pseudo guy that I just like, that I may like listening to because of maybe his personality or his sense of humor, it would be Brother Sanchez and Bobby Hemmett. I used to like Bobby Hemmett back in the day, just because he's funny and hilarious and entertaining. Not that his information is about anything, because his information ain't shit. Brother Sanchez information ain't shit, but he has a way about him that's charming, and that he's entertaining and can be hilarious in the way he talks and shit, right? So he can lure naive and gullible people in pretty easy. What you say? About Portuguese Jewish merchants was trading slaves in Brazil in the 1600s under both Portuguese and the Dutch authority. They were sending rum to Africa for slaves. Right, 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 right. So this is what I've also had to do, right? I'm not sure if you agree with me. I'm just speaking for me now. I've had to stop saying we were kidnapped by white folk. That's wrong. We were kidnapped by other African tribes. And they brought us to the slave market for white folk to buy us. So black folk kidnapped us. White folk bought us. That's the reality of the story. White folk didn't go inland snatching up people and kidnapping people. Africans did the kidnapping. Africans did the raiding of tribes. Africa snatched up women and children and marched their ass to the coast for white folk to buy us and trade rum and guns and any fucking thing else. It was so many tribes up out in the field, strapped with fucking rifles and shit. Ain't no white folk walking out to the bush with tribes with rifles and shit. Just didn't happen. Black folk kidnapped us and brought us to the coast, and white folk bought us and took us to the Americas and to Brazil. That's how it went down. So I've stopped saying white folk kidnapped us. I put the onus on niggas. No, niggas kidnapped us, and white folk bought us from niggas. Yep, the government of Ghana has a repatriation movement for any descendants of slavery. I went to Ghana for my 50th birthday almost 3 years ago. And I went to a repatriation meeting. I went to these economic meetings. I even went to the land that a Ghana chief, we met with the Ghana chief and sat with him and shit. And he has this huge, vast land set aside for African Americans. And I think so far there's 3 properties have been built on this land. And I did a video on it, showed it. But no black Americans cared. All these Pan-Africans who talk this shit didn't give a shit about any of this shit I was talking. They didn't give a shit about the repatriation meeting. They don't give a fuck about this land that this chief got set aside for us in Ghana, because they all just selling wolf tickets and talking shit. Niggas ain't going nowhere. They love America. They just talking shit from their fucking basement in the Bronx. That's all they doing. As they're reaping all the welfare benefits in America. Yeah, most of these I get benefits from it. Most of these conscious community niggas who talking this shit is reaping welfare benefits from America. They're getting low income housing. I get low income housing as a veteran. Like, but I don't front. You know what I mean? They got food stamps. These niggas, women's is on welfare. All these niggas is lying. They sucking up all this fucking welfare money and ain't going goddamn nowhere. They won't even visit West Africa. Yeah. So I just want to say, I'm put the onus on all these Egyptomaniacs and the Hebrew Israelites. Both camps are wrong as fuck. Both camps are arguing with each other about somebody else's history and culture. You niggas is arguing about Caucasian people's history. Can you imagine the black Hebrew Israelites, the black Egyptomaniacs arguing with each other and fighting over Caucasoids lands and fighting over Caucasoid history? They trying to figure out who can be the best Caucasoid. I'm out of here. We crazy as hell.